Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to see more. Coming up in today's episode, two New Zealand CEOs lashing over homecoming. Rumours persist with the Dolphins target Reece Walsh. Castleford fans receive banning orders. Plus highlight some reports from the Monday Night Rugby League game between Newcastle Thunder and Widnes Vikings. So we'll begin today's episode with the 6 stories, and our first story comes from Castleford Tigers, as there has been an increase in antisocial behaviour at rugby league grounds, whether it's the coaches that were damaged at Warrington and they played Castleford, for goodness sake, and now Castleford have come out with a statement with the rise on these antisocial behaviours and also bans of fans. Castleford Tigers would like to inform supporters that the club continues to uphold a zero tolerance policy of any antisocial behaviour. The start of the 2022 season has seen Castleford have averaged over 9,000 supporters across our first opening 3 home fixtures, and the majority of the supporters from the Ford's faithful has been remarkable and has helped us create a highly enjoyable atmosphere for all to enjoy at the Menderhose Jungle. However, a very small minority of people have unfortunately let the club and its fans down with antisocial behaviour. As a result of this, to date, 9 people have been issued bans from the Tigers, ranging from 3 years to life bans due to their troublesome behaviour. In fact, the Tigers continue to pursue some people in relation to incidents that occurred at Hull KR and Leeds Rhinos, and we welcome any information in regards to and ask you to contact the club via email to info@castigers.com. Castleford Tigers would like to make it perfectly clear that if anyone's idea of supporting our club involves misbehaviour that includes, but is not limited to, verbal or physical abuse, violent conduct, the use of pyrotechnics such as flares or smoke bombs, vile and offensive chanting, excessive alcohol misuse, or any drug misuse, then they are not welcome as supporters of our club. The club would like to reiterate that the vast majority of supporters are representing the Tigers well and with pride. We hope that all understand we do not wish to tarnish the reputation of fantastic support due to a small number of people who represent us in a fashion that we or our supporters expect and deserve. This has all come off the back of a few antisocial misbehaviours, as there was a Catalans fan who was abused at an away game. He wasn't French, he was just a Catalans fan, a young lad that played rugby in the area at St Helens, abused there. Castleford's coach being attacked at Warrington when they were leaving and had to be delayed until at least midnight before getting home. And Castleford fans fighting at Hull KR in the North Stand, allegedly, towards the end of the Super League, at the end of the Super League clash, which was won by Hull KR. Castleford fans have been classy Cas throughout the year, and the team have been classy Cas throughout the years. That's because their fans were excellent, supported voraciously, but did not step over the mark. We are not soccer. I'll use that adage. Be as classy as your team was and want to. There seems to be trouble brewing in New Zealand, as the Warriors are so incensed at the attempts to stage a Kiwi test in New Zealand before their long-awaited homecoming. The club will consider not releasing its players for the international match. The Warriors are scheduled to play their first match on home soil in 2.5 years, when they host the West Tigers in their round 16 clash at Mount Smart Stadium on July the 3rd. The game has been hyped as the most significant in the Warriors' history, given the amount of time the team has spent away from their home to keep the NRL competition going. Meanwhile, the NZRL is keen for the New Zealand national team to take on Tonga in a test match just a few weeks beforehand, during the standalone representative weekend on the State of Origin 2 weekend when it is being played. Now that the New Zealand border have reopened, New Zealand Rugby League officials are exploring the feasibility of playing such a match on home turf. Such a move would infuriate the Warriors, who believe that the event would detract from the celebrations they have planned for the homecoming just a few weeks later. Warriors CEO Cameron George declined to comment, but sources familiar with the situation at the Warriors are so incensed that consideration is being given not to release the players if the international proceeds in New Zealand. That will be a hammer blow for the test, given that more than half a dozen players, including Tonga's Adin Fanua-Blake and Kiwi eligible stars Sean Johnson, Dalen Watani-Zelezniak, Tahu Harris, Ben Murdoch-Masila, Cody Nikarima and Jesse Arthurs, would be in the frame for selection. The Kiwis haven't played an international match since taking on Great Britain in the second test in Christchurch in November 2019. It's definitely our intention to get on the field one way or another in June for both the Kiwis and the Kiwi Ferns, said NZRL CEO Greg Peters, pictured here right. At the moment, we're still working through what that would look like with the NRL, but it's certainly intending to play then. Obviously, there's an attraction in playing at home in front of our fans and families of the players is compelling, but that's only very recently become possible. There's still a lot of work to be done on that. The intention was to get on the pitch in June in Australia, but we're still working through the details. There are still a number of options we haven't landed on, and we haven't landed on anything. We just want to get on the pitch in June, and we need to play because it's 2 years since the Kiwis played. Peters said it's the organisation's strong preference to play at home if possible. Asked if that would cut across the Warriors' path, he added, "It will be a big month if we can pull it off, but it's very much still up in the air at the moment." The Warriors, however, would take a dim view of the spotlight being taken away from their homecoming. The team has set up home at Redcliffe in stints in and after stints in Kingscliff, Tamworth, Terrigal, Robina, and at Surfers Paradise over the past 3 seasons due to COVID-19. The Warriors have expressed the hope the NRL can come to an arrangement that would allow them to play additional home games in 2023 to offset the fact that they have been on the road for so long. Staying with the New Zealand Warriors, rumours have been swirling about star fullback Reece Walsh's future at the New Zealand Warriors since the off-season. While Walsh had signed a 3-year contract with the Warriors as recently as 2021, the desire for the Dolphins to acquire a marquee talent in their rookie season has put even more unavailable players in their sights. Much of the conjecture around Walsh being lured from the Warriors after just 1 season and 2022 being the first as the full-time fullback has been his connection to the Queensland football. A product of Keebra Park Rugby League nursery on the Gold Coast, Walsh has spent many years in the Brisbane Broncos development system before being lured away by the Warriors in 2021. And this connection back to his hometown roots is being brought further into the spotlight following News Corp's discovery of a get-out clause in Walsh's contract with the Warriors. The welfare clause will essentially let Walsh walk away from the Warriors prior to his final contracted season in 2022. 2023, sorry to say. However, it's been suggested that the recent early release of New South Wales-born Warrior Ewan Aitken could set a precedent for the club and their imminent return to New Zealand. Aitken, similar to Walsh, has deep ties in Australia, and upon the announcement of the Warriors' return to New Zealand for home games, requested an early exit from his contract at the end of the year, which was initially slated to finish at the end of 2023. Walsh, who has spent the beginning of his tenure with the Warriors on the Central Coast and in Queensland's Redcliffe, will be faced with the similar reality of leaving Australian soil come the return to New Zealand. The Warriors brass have continued to remain positive on the subject though, reiterating that while they have a challenge on their hands retaining Walsh past his initial contract, the relationship is solid for both parties and are both happy with how it's progressing. The challenge for us will be keeping Reece, Warriors football chief Craig Hodges said. He hasn't lived in New Zealand, so that will be a big move for him. But what I do know is that he's extremely happy at the Warriors and he feels like his game is developing here. We plan to keep him. I understand home is here in Queensland for him, so whether the Broncos or Dolphins are a chance to get him in 2 to 3 years' time, I can't worry too much about that. But any suggestion he's unhappy here is not true. I'm confident Reece will stay. For some guys at our club, however, who haven't lived in New Zealand, there is a bit of an unknown about going back there. But I don't believe it will be an issue for Reece. He has Kiwi heritage, so it's not a big deal. People are meeking out, is it? We will finally get to play in front of our fans and supporters, and Reece will enjoy it. There has been some disconnection, but moving back home will bring everything back together. We head up to the northeast for the Betfred Championship game highlights, as we see the northeast of England's Newcastle Thunder take on the Widnes Vikings in this championship game showed on Premier Sports. Widnes travel to Newcastle with 4 wins from their 6 games, while Newcastle are on 3 wins and 3 draws from 3 wins and 3 losses from their 6 games so far this season. So here are the teams: about Mitski, Sam Halsall, Matty Nicholson and Brad O'Neill, all on loan from Wigan through dual registration, all start for Newcastle in their 17, while Cas Lewis Peachy is on the bench, and former Leeds man Sam Hallas is in the starting lineup at loose forward. For Widnes, they have 4 changes to the side that have lost 3 in a row. Edge, Bent, Brown and Dupree have all dropped out of the 17, while Lloyd Roby returns to the bench. Jake Spedding makes his first appearance of the season, while 2 Salford loanees are in the Widnes 17 after they completed loans this week. Danny Addy starts for the Vikings, while Jack Wells, who played against Widnes for Barrow a few Mondays ago, is added to the bench. And there's only one bit of action on the half as a whole for when it comes to points scoring, as Widnes are camped on the Newcastle are camped on the Widnes line, and the ball is floated out wide to Sam Halsall, who dives in the corner for the first try of the game. Here's that try again. The big centre passes over to his opposing centre. D passes it to Halsall with a great looping pass. That makes the first score for Newcastle. Both teams have huffed and puffed throughout the half, but that was the only points that was scored in the first half. That's one solitary Sam Halsall try. The only other incident of note was that Reece Doro was sent to the sin bin for a, well, this is how Newcastle put it, sin bin Widnes on the 26th minute. Bit of a disagreement after the tackle, and Reece Doro will have 10 minutes rest. And that's the half-time score at Kingston Park. Newcastle 4, Widnes 0. So we're going to the second half, and it's Newcastle that get the first points on the board of the half, as they decide to run it on the last and throw the ball right. And the ball is given into the gap for Gideon Boafo, who runs in from the wing. He could put the ball down anywhere, but he's got enough pace to come round, put the ball down underneath the sticks to make the kick easier for Jake Shorrocks, who adds the 2 for a 10 points to 0 lead after 47 minutes. And all of a sudden it is a back and forth game where both teams are trying to get possession, trying to get position. Widnes keep putting the ball down, and apart from one other completion of note, Widnes are the next to score a point. Widnes go right, and it's Danny Addy who starts pulling the strings, and he finds Adam Lawton, who dummies and pushes his way over the line. I suspected there was a double movement in that play, but the referee gives the try for a 10 points to 4 scoreline, which is converted for a 10 points to 6 scoreline. Here's one of the looks close up. Danny Addy runs across the line, trying to pick out the man, and he gives it to Adam Lawton with a little bit of a gap. He gets past Mullen, and he's being tackled by Midsky. But here is what I'm saying about the double movement. He's stopped, and he's pushed the ball over, and I don't think he actually put the ball over the line either. But then Newcastle start getting back into the grind, getting good field position, and despite a few miscues when it comes to the coming to get in a positive position, there is only one more scoring points as a bomb goes up and it is fumbled by the Widnes defence, and it goes forward into a Widnes hand who is offside. So the referee gives gives the opportunity, which Newcastle go for the 2 for, and Shorrocks adds the 2s for the final points of the game. And Newcastle have got their fourth win of the season, as the final score is Newcastle Thunder 12, Widnes Vikings 6. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide so that we can get the word out for all these videos that come about. And also click that notification bell for any new videos that may be coming your way. So tell me what your thoughts are of today's video. Do you think Reece Walsh will stay in Queensland with either the Brisbane Broncos or even the New Dolphins franchise? Or will he go to New Zealand with the New Zealand Warriors, see out his contract and even stay longer? New Zealand Rugby League and the New Zealand Warriors going head to head about the first game being played in New Zealand, first game of Rugby League. I think both will be a massive draw no matter what would happen, so I don't know what the problem is. It's the NRL coming back home after internationals. It's about time we start making the internationals a priority, and if New Zealand are the ones that start pushing it, it'll be fantastic precedent for Rugby League internationally. And also Newcastle all the news tonight. Newcastle Thunder getting the win over Widnes Vikings. Good effort by Newcastle. There's some very strong Wigan connections there, as you can tell. With Eamon O'Carroll, Dennis Betts being in the coaching and director of rugby positions, as well as all the players coming from Wigan on dual contracts, as well as players like Mitch Clark being involved. Anyway, so tell me, who was the best performance of the weekend? Do you think this transfer speculation is just 2 + 2 coming up with a bushel of apples, or are they got some substance to it? But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide, and I wish you all the best. Please stay safe. See you in the next episode.